Duvvuri Subbarao has recently written an opinion piece in the Indian Express. Let's take a look at what he has written. Welcome back to Berich. Subbarao was one of the governors of the Reserve Bank. He was castigated as a poor banker because he did not tighten the policy in time and allowed inflation to go out of control. He admits this in his article. What is this article about? The article is that he argues against direct monetization of the deficit. Like me, I am in that camp. There is no need to cross the Rubicon line, as he says it, because our yields are still very low. Yields are only at 6.17, in spite of government announcing a 25% increase or 50% increase in its borrowing. There are two ways that RBI can monetize debt. One is through open market operations and other through monetization of deficit. Both will have the same effect. RBI prints to buy both in OMO as well as in case of monetization. The issue is this: when you do monetization, the control over the money printing shifts from the Reserve Bank to that of the executive. Politicians who are only worried about short term gains and popularity contests and will be highly irresponsible. Since printing of money strokes inflation and India is an inflation prone country, it is not wise to allow the printing press to go into the hands of the government. Therefore, it is not wise to print directly. What is the difference between OMO and direct monetization? In case of OMO, the RBI prints money and buys from the bonds from the banks, creating space for the bank to buy more bonds. This is an onerous task, but this means that the RBI control button is with the RBI, and the RBI can choose when to do OMO and when not to choose OMO. When there is the threat of rising inflation, as is the case today, the Reserve Bank of India can refuse to buy bonds and allow yields to rise. In case of monetization, it is not possible, and the government can keep borrowing, keep issuing bonds to RBI and keep borrowing, and RBI has to dump these bonds in the open market. Monetization removes the discipline that this act has passed. This agreement that was signed between C. Rangarajan and Montek Singh Ahluwalia of representing the government in early 1997 after years of negotiation. This agreement of 1997 has made sure that government cannot monetize deficit and has to take to recourse to market borrowings. This has meant double digit inflations in India is the era of double digit inflation has gone, and we have relatively slow and stable inflation, which means foreigners will come and buy our bonds. The only time the inflation went up very close to double digit was after the crisis of 2008, and like Duvvuri Subbarao admits that he was late on the uptake and he did not tighten enough early. Had he done that, the counterfactual notes of history would have been completely different. It is very good of Duvvuri Subbarao to admit me that he made a mistake. Let us take a lesson from what Subbarao did and not listen to the cacophony of voices asking for a demonetization or for asking for a monetization. It is better that the government gives the bonds, banks buy it. If the yields cross 8%, then we can look at monetizing the deficit. There is sufficient demand for Indian paper right now. Thank you for watching Be Rich. If you like this content, please press the subscribe button and turn on the bell notification. I have given a WhatsApp number. If you'd like to buy my books, send a message. My team would get back to you. I have a young team. If you hit the like button or give a thumbs up signal, it's much appreciated. If you want to talk to me directly, please send a mail to berichenglish@gmail.com. Once again, I thank you for supporting Berich.